Good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the Success Strategy, bringing you week 20 of our Spotlight on Success series. And today we are continuing the conversation with regard to all things growth and scaling your business. You could be an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, a business leader thinking about starting your own business, or already be entrenched in a small, medium, or large sized business. What's most important is that we bring these success oriented principles, tools, and techniques to you so that you can be the maestro of success, no matter what the size of your organizations. Today, we're going to be talking about the importance of value chain analysis, and we're going to be looking at how this tool can really help you right size your organization to enable you to scale successfully to 2x, 5x, 10x, 25x, if that's where you and your team are headed and want to go. Most of all, we are driving awareness of this tool suite. We are wanting you to understand where you're steering the ship to, and then we want you to decide, commit, and take action. So our spotlight on success is all about moving you into momentum and action so that, again, you can scale to the size and with the quickness that is most important to you and your team. The first thing we're going to talk about today, when we think about lean, when we think about Six Sigma, when we think about continuous improvement, when we think about continuous innovation, when we think about any organizational redevelopment activity that we're taking on, we need to be looking at it holistically from a people, process, and technology standpoint. And so therefore, the first thing that value chain analysis can help you identify is operational efficiencies. Why is this so important? It's because it's going to cause you and your team to take a hard look at all of the things that maybe you're not harnessing, or that you're partially harnessing, or that's just sitting there in your infrastructure or in your library or in a binder that's not driving value for you. So the very first thing, we're going to understand what are your key processes? How can we enhance your productivity? Number two, where are we going to be focusing on reducing waste? And so this whole concept of operational efficiencies takes the people. Do we have the staff with the right skills? And that could be any type of workforce, any type of leader, any type of manager, any type of client and customer, and any type of partner. We want to be taking a hard look at each and every one of them to see, are we getting the ROI out of each of those resources? The next thing we can also do is look at our capital structure. We want to understand, is the way that we're financing the organization and or investing in the organization giving us the ROI that we want? Do we have the right investment mix? Are we not there? Are we not yet to the point where we've scaled, but we need to start looking at that so we can scale further faster? So your investment and your balanced portfolio from a monetary standpoint, just as important as a balanced portfolio from your products and your services standpoint. So again, value chain analysis to identify and optimize key processes, reduce waste, and enhance productivity. What do we look for here? We look for ways that we can standardize. We look for ways that we can normalize. We look for ways that we can automate. We look for ways that AI can be a resource enabler, right? Every single thing within our organizations, all the technologies, all of the process intelligence is where we want to be looking. And again, if we need to be thinking about restructuring our capital inlays, we need to think about restructuring our debt. If we need to think about driving partners, different type of partners to share revenue because it's going to drive our ROI higher. All of those business model efficiencies are just as important. The next thing is, as an outcome of really taking this hard look at operational efficiencies, is waste reduction, right? And we kind of went into this in one of our prior sessions, but the premise of a lean and lean enterprise is no mudo, and that means no waste, complete waste reduction. There are 7 types of waste. I'm going to let you Google that because I want you to get excited about the different types of waste there are, and the different types of waste removal or reduction that you can undertake in your organization. Just know that there are 7 types. There are some that are, will be more difficult to understand and reduce than others. So I want you to start with your own organization's end goal in mind. Are you shooting for 10%, 20%, 50%, 80%? I want you to have the goal and the percentage. And then when you look at the tools, you're going to be able to see typically which tool is going to be most effective given your particular industry, given your particular product and service portfolio, to enable waste reduction to the greatest amount possible. It's going to depend on how you've structured, again, your financing. It's going to be dependent on how you are resourced. What are the different types of resources? Where are they located at? And what is the business and legal structures that you're using? So again, waste reduction, it is exactly what we're after in all of these because it directly leads to operational efficiencies and it helps you increase profitability, which is our number 3, right? So if I can ask you to do nothing else, just Google no mudo 7 waste types. If you're interested, Hoshin, the Hoshin construct really helps support and undergird this and can take you along the waste reduction, waste removal journey, as well as lean enterprise principles. And of course, you can always reach to us at advisor1@successstrategist.com. That's successstrategist.com, advisor1@successstrategist.com. Now, as we move to increasing profitability, part of this value chain analysis is where are we incurring our expenses and how are we generating our revenues, and what is the ROI currently on each of those steps, and what do we want to reduce and or accelerate. And that's going to help us pinpoint, right? If we look at that ROI and it's negative by a lot, that's going to help us pinpoint, and that's continuous, right? That's going to help us pinpoint where there's likely to be the greatest amount of cost reduction, the greatest amount of efficiency improvement, potentially, if we remediate that, right? So that combination of waste reduction and operational efficiencies is going to help us increase profitability. But what we've not answered the mail yet is typically on the value delivery to customers. Just because we're driving operational efficiencies, oftentimes we're doing things that are internally focused versus externally focused. And so this value chain analysis also needs to take into consideration steps 4 and 5, heightening quality and reducing costs, right? So increasing profitability through a balanced portfolio of enhanced products and services that add increased value because you have identified competitive advantage and they're baked into your solution and service offerings is adding value. surveying, focus groups, assessing, understanding your competitive landscape, overlaying your strategic framework, creating an ideation funnel and an innovation funnel, and delivering value consistently across the customer lifecycle is enhancing your value proposition, right? Examining where can you drive efficiencies. Maybe there is product integration opportunities. Maybe there is sourcing opportunities, resourcing. Maybe there is outsourcing opportunities, right? All of those. And if it heightens the customer value through that product integration, makes it more usable, makes it more effective for makes a better customer experience, right? All of those are going to be adding value. Now, the one thing we haven't touched upon that yet, and that's heightening quality, right? Why is heightening quality so important to each of these other areas? It's because we need to think through the mindset of reducing defects in our work to the maximum amount possible where it makes sense to do so from a cost benefit analysis. Those in the early 70s, 80s, and 90s might have umbrage or take umbrage at that statement, but we don't want to reduce defects past the point in time where it's going to be cost effective and that it will not add value to our customer. There's a fine line between when we went after zero defects, which is a highly quality oriented product and services, in which we should still aim for. I'm not saying do not aim for zero defects. What I'm saying is take a hard fiscal look at how you're doing what you're doing from a quality perspective and bake quality in across, because as you bake it in, you will near zero defects, oftentimes organically. Again, Shingo model can really help support you in this effort, because you're going to be tracing how something moves from concept to post field release maintenance and support. And therefore, you're going to be able to understand the error rates, the quality levels from a product and a service standpoint, and you're going to be able to quantify the value to your customer so that you can harness statistical methods to help you, i.e., reduce waste more, create more efficiencies, increase your profitability, while at the same time reducing costs and heightening your quality. Last but not least in our value chain analysis is this idea of identifying competitive advantage, right? Each and every one of us, if you're a service provider, if you create a very large portfolio of products, has a competitive advantage over and in one or more ways, or you wouldn't be in business. You wouldn't be in business and you wouldn't be staying in business because of that competitive advantage. And so it's up to us, especially in this day of AI, where you can create and plug into the AI models your current business model and ask it for support. Ask it for what is my competitive advantage out this. Ask it for support in identifying 5 to 10 new business models I can take given my current situation and where I'm going and my targets, right? My strategic framework. So please leverage not only the expertise that you have at hand within your organization. We want to do 3 to 5 other things. We want to look at parallel industries. Where are they getting the gains and the exponential results from a scaling perspective that you want? What other products and services, where have they integrated to create these efficiencies, increase profitability, heighten quality, and reduce waste, and driven the value proposition higher exponentially? Where can you gain access to advisors or expertise, right? There is a no small mountain of experts and advisors and boards and nonprofit, especially if you're in the technology, right? These technology transfer belly buttons that you could go to through guidance that will help you with this strategic competitive advantage insertion. And then last but not least, you could go to the marketers and the product owners, right? There are many across the ecosystem. If you're still in concept phase, especially, right? They will help you not only position, but create that strong conceptual blueprint so that you're gaining access to capital early and often. Again, this is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the success strategist, bringing you week 20 of our Spotlight on Success for your organization, no matter whether you are a veteran business leader or a small solopreneur or anything in between, small, medium, large, or just thinking about your business concept. These principles will scale small to large, and I invite you to learn more about how we can help you gain access to exponential success and scale your organization 2x, 5x, 10x to 25x at advisor1 at successstrategist.com. This is Dr. Rhonda Farrell signing off for today, and we welcome you back next week for more tips, tools, and techniques on how to drive your organization's success exponentially.